This is a reaction video to the track map for round 3 of Thunder Valley. This is at Mile High, where really the altitude is, I believe, over 6,000 feet. A mile is 5,280 feet. So the bikes, you're losing about 18% power. So you're going to see a lot of guys have bigger sprockets on the back end. They are going to gear down. I know a lot of privateers even start in first gear because of this sucker. You want to have more power here because it's robbing you. And a lot of people end up going through altitude sickness as well because of the sheer fact that it's up higher. You've got less oxygen for your lungs and whatnot. I find it baffling that you have some of the most elite riders in the world end up having a hard time doing 2 35-minute motos here rather than in Tennessee or something later in the year. And it's completely 100% humidity. It's over 100 degrees, just crazy. Anyway, I digress. On the start here, most of the hole shots are going to come from 3 or 4 gates from the inside here. The best gates is on this side. The worst gates are definitely these guys because it's just so much longer to get around. Best gates right about here. Maybe second best gates are here so you can move in front of people and get a good start. Usually there's not a lot of track changes done because of the sheer fact that there's an irrigation system there at Lakewood, and most national tracks have those, so it's hard to change multiple corners. However, what they will do on Pro Day is they'll bring in different types of dirt, more dirt. They'll pick up the lips so that you get more air, etc. However, there is some consensus this year of cutting down lips so riders can't win. It's a pretty funny joke there. But anyway, you have a 180-degree corner into a 180-degree bottom corner going up a hill where you have some rollers here to a fun jump where most riders will pull tear-offs and they'll be jumping outside to inside to try to cut this corner. They'll either be going outside and hauling butt to the inside, or they're just going to try to form a wall on the outside to keep their momentum up. And most riders will start hucking the high line up here, and this ends up becoming a pretty big downhill jump, and this is probably the scariest section of Lakewood. It looks like they have, in fact, changed it because usually it would come down all the way to here and then come up here, so it's not going to be as sketchy of a section. So this is honestly a safety improvement, I believe, because you're not going to have guys hauling effing ass coming down a downhill with some large braking bumps where they're going to have to get off the brakes so that suspension can actually move underneath them as opposed to locking up and rebounding and kicking them over the bars. So that is a nice change to see. This is honestly the first time I've seen this track here, so we're going through it together. Fun uphill double. Most of the guys are probably going to hover to the inside here. This is going to turn into a one line. And usually this is the infamous downhill section where Tomac ended up, I believe, breaking his elbow and losing the championship because this sucker went way down here. And this was another one of those sections of the track that was scary because of the gnarly bumps that were developing there at Lakewood. And now they're changing it, and this is honestly something that I feel like I want to go ride because this was the scariest section. These two, and they're gone now, and you're going to have a right-hand 90-degree corner to a left-hander to hauling butt. I can see guys fading way to the outside here, and some guys trying to huck up to the inside, because if they huck up to the inside, then they're going to be able to go outside in. But if you're trying to make a pass, you're going to have to take the long way around, and that's going to set you up for the inside around somebody that you could potentially get. Downwards to this typical tabletop that is infamous at Lakewood here to a rough section that ends up being here. I don't know if it's just different types of dirt in here, but there ends up being quite a bit more ruts here ruts that go all the way to the next little checkup jump, I would say. And here is that massive whip jump where you'll see riders have a hard time clearing it, especially on Pro Day because of how deep the track is. And again, them just making the lips bigger. This downhill section is the most difficult of Lakewood. And ooh, they made this much bigger than what it used to be because it used to come down here and you would have to turn around here. So I honestly have to retract my statement of the sheer fact that they aren't able to make many changes here. So you're going to haul butt down here. And I know this is how the National was last year, but still, this is going to be a scary section for guys that are able to push the issue. They'll be able to make up the most amount of time. And this ends up being a fairly dry section here. And I've seen some local riders be able to quad this section here. We'll see if it's actually going to be a triple quad, whatever it's going to be. Right here, the track map makes it look like it's just a double. Into the mechanics area, I believe, is where this will be. And you'll have some rollers here to another 90, and there's usually a big double down here. So there's a double. Oh, they've taken it away because of the new added section here where riders are going to try to hug the inside. I'm going to see inside and then hauling butt on the outside, but if you're hauling butt on the outside, you're going to fade back to the inside to get over here to a fast section. They took out another big jump here. There used to be a big uphill jump, and it's kind of depressing that it's not there anymore. To the 180-degree corner to the finish line, and this ends up being fairly rough. I will imagine that there is going to be some rollers here. I don't see them keeping this as just a flat corner because that's just going to make for not as good a racing, and you'll have somebody like Jet that's able to wheelie over everything and triple into the corner, something crazy. Back to the start here. And there's a lot of dynamics going on. Did Jet get his stitches? It was something on his side, probably, or it's really not that bad. I don't know. We'll see. That's just some of the rumors I have heard. And Sexton, is he going to be able to continue to win? He's got a 2-moto win streak right now, and Deegan has a 2 overall win streak right now. Will he be able to do that? I know I'm looking for Tom Vial to make some moves after last weekend's performance, and I know Lakewood ends up getting incredibly rough, and the thing about Lakewood is it's not near as fast as Hangtown, so I would assume that these riders could keep possibly their setups, but make it a little bit softer, therefore, because they're not going as fast. They don't need the high-speed stability because of Lakewood being a much tighter track and the lack of horsepower here. But as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep it WFO. Bra-da-da-da-da.